A government legislator wants the Water Authority to hire a crisis manager for the South Coast sewage woes. That's our top story in our Barbados Today morning news update for Thursday, March the 1st. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. A government senator is calling on the Barbados Water Authority to hire a crisis manager to function as a buffer between the state and those affected by the chronic South Coast sewage mess. Describing the ongoing sewage overflows as a national crisis, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism Irene Sandiford Garner told the final sitting of the Senate last night that the business owners ought to be thoroughly updated after each weekly meeting which the authorities hold on the sewage issue.
Now, that is not a job which can be done by an ordinary spokesperson or a technical person. I do believe, and I'm just making this suggestion now on the spot, that probably Barbados Water Authority could benefit from a trained crisis manager who is skilled in communication, who can come and there are people who are crisis communicators, and I'm sure there's one in Barbados who could probably come on board in this situation, which is a national crisis, and communicate with those affected on a weekly basis and act as a buffer between the affected and the state.
And Independent Senator Lady Carol Haynes, who lives on the South Coast and owns a complex there, not only wants better information sharing, but is gravely concerned about the impact the sewage leaks are having on the residents and businesses.
There are a lot of challenges now for businesses on the South Coast. As I was coming today on Golf Club Road, there was a whole line of traffic. And I asked myself, what is causing this traffic? There's got to be a funeral or something. And then I realized, because I've heard it, people say it on the radio, that people are now using Golf Club Road so as to get away from the coast road. And if I say so myself, I do the same thing. There are a lot of businesses on that South Coast Road. We've all seen the pictures of the sewage, and there are many businesses that have closed over the past few months. Today I heard that Scotiabank has closed temporarily. Every day it seems there's another business, and several of the businesses report like a 50% reduction in their business over the last few months with the sewage problems.
In other news from the upper chamber, Independent Senator John Watson has taken issue with the terms and conditions of a US $13.9 million loan the government is going after to refinance the restructuring of the sugarcane industry. For one thing, he is not happy that government has to pay foreign financial institutions to arrange the loan. Watson thinks Barbados has enough financial visitors who could do the job.
But we should have a small unit of those financial wizards who will sit down and who can arrange these things. When I calculated, and I hope I calculated correctly, but it is costing us about $168,000 for just arranging that. Madam President, I suppose that's the cost of financing, but if you can save it, then save it.
Prime Minister Francis Stewart says it's unacceptable that only 4 CARICOM states have signed on to the appellate jurisdiction of the CARICOM Court of Justice. Stewart, who was speaking to the Barbados Government Information Service at the end of the 29th Intersessional CARICOM Summit in Haiti Tuesday, described the situation as disgraceful. He said he did not buy the argument that there is a division of opinion in the countries which have not signed on to its appellate jurisdiction because the biggest decision CARICOM states had to make has been on independence.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. Trinidad and Tobago's Minister of National Security, Edmund Dillon, has given assurances that all will be done to ensure the needs of the affected families in Cedros are met. Dillon, who is also MP for the area, visited the village on Tuesday after coastal erosion devastated several homes, washing some into the sea and displacing a number of families.
National Security Minister and MP for the Point Fortin area is briefed about the extensive damage done to Bamboo Village in Cedros following coastal erosion on Monday evening. The devastation left at least 6 families without a roof over their heads. Minister Dillon said plans were afoot to ensure these families get shelter soon.
I have in fact brought down a representative from the Ministry of Housing and Development, the Social and Community Development Services. They are in fact at Point Fortin right now in my office, where I met representatives of the family, and they're filling out the necessary application form. Members of the same HDC unit are coming down to Cedros to see for themselves, so that we can speed up the process to get at least in the initial stage some temporary housing for those who are affected.
And on the international scene, Italy counts down to a decisive election with a new voting system that could spell the end to fragile coalition governments. More in this Euronews report.
Italy chooses a new government on Sunday, and the outcome is widely seen as too close to call. For the first time, the country is voting under a new system that mixes proportional representation with first-past-the-post balloting. That means the winner will need around 40% of the vote to govern, but could make do with less if they sweep the first-past-the-post seats. The anti-establishment and populist Five-Star movement is expected to emerge as Italy's largest party. Its leader, Luigi Di Maio, has already named ministers if called on to form a government, a highly unusual move aimed at stealing a march on its rivals and showing voters it's ready for power.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper email updates or like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.